All right, guys, welcome back to the Justice League Cry for Justice, issue number 2 from DC Comics by James Robinson and Mauro Cascioli. Said that's right. I got the black and white, not because they have the option. I rather have the color, but this is the only one I could have get. And this is a mini series that we're going to dive in. And I like the first one. The premise is cool, but there is some problems with this book. I'm gonna address that. We see here Green Arrow and Green Lantern are in Gotham City. Hal basically confesses that he doesn't like Gotham City, right? The reason it's not because of this reason, but he had a problem. He wants to confess to Green Arrow. He says, I don't like Batman, right? And I like Bruce, but Arrow says, I know, he didn't like you too, right? But it seems Batman had died or something, but came back, something like that. I mean, you clearly see him here, but maybe this was the time that I believe maybe there was the timeline that Batman was killed by Darkseid, right? I believe this was, I could be wrong. I mean, this is from 2006. I have some holes in my memory when it comes to timelines and time periods. So, and there's a lot of books I'm reading, guys. Anyway, but he says, although we have our differences, I still miss him, right? And but it seems they are tracking villains because they want justice for what all the evil that these villains has done. And then we go to Black Hawk Island, and we see this guy here. Now, this guy was, oh my God, Brotherhood of Evil. Yes, I forgot his name, but he has the power of voodoo, right? You have a dolls and prick you with it. It can do whatever. He has an unusual costume, by the way. I mean, this is not really unusual, but this mask with the thing behind it. Yeah. Anyway, and there is a cool action scene here, and the art looks phenomenal. So this is Mikhail. He's, I believe, the first Starman, but correct me if I'm wrong. Subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment below if you know it. And we have Kong Gorilla, or the Golden Gorilla. And they're going at each other, right? I mean, they're ripping it, pieces and bits of them. And Mikhail, Starman, blast them with star power, I guess. So they come to the realization that they cannot do it anymore and they need a breather, and they start to talk to each other and then say, oh, wait a minute, you're not one of the wrong guys. You're not one of those guys that I'm seeking. Basically, they have also healing powers. So they are doing a handshake like, they're friends now, right? So I said, what are you doing here? Well, so Starman says that his partner was murdered and he seeks justice. And Kongorilla too, right? Because his tribe, his friends are all dead. So he says, how did you get this far? Connections. Have you heard the name Benetti? No. The Shade, a villain. Once perhaps, I don't know now anyway. Between and they helped. Friends are nice, as I said. Mine are dead. And there's some awkward silence between them. But then they continue the conversation about, he got here because he had a good nose. He followed the trail here, right? And but the trail leads inwards into Paris, France. And his name is Hongen of the Brotherhood. So he dealt with that. And he says, hey, can you fly a plane? He says, I'm almost 100 years old. I can do stuff. All right. Cool. Meanwhile, we have Lantern and Arrow meeting up with the guy that, this surprised me a little bit, was Batman's private detective. Wait a minute. Now, why does Batman need a private detective? He's a detective himself. I have never heard of this guy, never seen him, but to be honest, I didn't read all of the Batman books. I mean, I need another life to get through all that. And so there's some slight jokes in here that, hey, why meet on the rooftops? Because he's freezing. But Arrow says, well, you are in space. You have a force field around. And this guy's a troubled knee. So he says, word hits the streets running that you two were on the hunt for villains, and villains I have, right? But this is Gothenburg, yeah, so he says, it's not, the usual one, not the bad villains, not the Joker, not the Two-Face, Ivy. No, he's talking about a group of other people that is on the building over here, some with powers, some with gimmicks. Nearly all of them are tourists. They've been awaiting instruction in a holding pen, you could say. Instruction from who? Prometheus. Now, Prometheus was introduced in one of the books of the Justice League America, which was a great series back in the day. There's multiple Justice League of America or Justice GLA books, but the short one is GLA. It was really, really good. He infiltrated the GLA and almost defeated them, right? Because he can copy. It's not really a power, but more like a technical thing. But he's dealing with powers of superheroes, and he can basically is maybe a reverse version of Batman. Although Batman has a lot of anti-Batman types in his villain arsenal, right? People that do exactly the same stuff as he, but then for evil purposes. Anyway, but Prometheus, we're not going to see him here right now. So, hey, why are you doing this? Well, he says, I work for Batman. I gave him a fortune. And now that he's gone, I feel I owe him in memory. So they spring to action. This looks good. They're jumping off the rooftops. And they are, doing this. They have also a series together, right? Years ago. Green Lantern and Green Arrow. So Jay here is now meeting up with the Atom. And so it seems that the Atom has also had some tragedy. And he knows that Prometheus is behind that. And it happened here. And he says, what happened here in Central City? Ray, you say you've been hit hard. So has the Flash Museum. He said that friends of him died. And the perpetrators, the villains, stole technology from the cosmic treadmill. Now that is interesting because the cosmic treadmill is a treadmill that uses the flashes to go in time, forth and back. So, wonder what that is all about. Anyway, but Jay also sees that the death of his, what he has gone through affects him. He says, there's been too much sadness and loss of late. I feel like it's Avatar. The villains are winning, Jay. I feel helpless to stop them. Jay also talked about Al Pratt, the original Atom, who was in the GSA, said that, he is proud that he's now wearing the mantle of the Atom. He didn't know that. So it gives him a little bit of a pep talk, but it seems that Ray has gone through a lot of challenges, a lot of deaths, with his wife Jane, Sue Dibney, not to mention the girl you loved and lost in the Amazon. Now your friend's murdered. It's too much. Take it from an old man and stop blaming yourself. Okay, and then another voice comes, and it's Shazam or Captain Marvel. Even Ray says that. Is it Shazam? I get confused with all the name changes. Well, so you can call me Freddy. So this is not the Billy Batson. Shazam is now Freddy Jr. something. All right. The problem I have with this book is there is too much talking, and I don't mean like talking about important stuff. There is important stuff in here, but it also goes a little bit away too much sometimes from the topic. And I don't mind if there is this is a talking book or that it has little action. I mean, not everything is about action, but if you have one scene here, this between the gorilla and Starman, and then talking and sometimes it just goes a little bit too far in the other direction, if you know what I mean. So Freddy says there is a hit on Star Labs in Farset City, the hub for extraterrestrial research. The Feast wanted Zeta beam technology. Now, when I think of Zeta beams, I think of I forgot his name. Adam Strange. Yes, Adam Strange. He uses the Zeta beam to go to the planet where he is the hero, and he has there a wife and family and all that stuff. I'm not going into that, but to give you a little bit more background what a Zeta beam technology is, if you do not know. Anyway, so it seems good men are dying. I hear that. Metropolis heist spilled out into the streets and became a bloodbath, orchestrated by Prometheus. Trail leads to Gotham. All right, so he says, hey, I've been in touch. So they're going their own way. And now we have this pretty cool pages, double spread. And it seems that, Lantern and Hal and Ollie have dealt with second-rate villains. Helgramite, Javelin. And but I see also Scarecrow, Manta, I guess. Dr. Polaris, who has the power of Magneto, but Magneto is way stronger, but he is a considerable villain, right? So, and I can see that Hal maybe can tackle some of these guys, but I mean, come on, Green Arrow, it's just no way in hell. Anyway, because he's a street level villain, right? And he can do street level villain stuff, but if we go to, Manta, he's dealing with Aquaman, way stronger than this guy. We have Batman villain, that has dealt with Batman a couple of times. And we have a Flash villain here. And we also, so Adam and Captain Marvel comes here. And they are, happy to see each other, right? But it seems that this guy is called Javelin. He doesn't like to be ignored. So he throws it. And then, Soups, is that... No, I guess not, but we all know who it is, right? But before I'm going to turn the page, Javelin was also in the James Gunn movie, the Suicide Squad, the last one. It was happened in the beginning of the beach. He died, but, why pick it? Okay, never mind. But this is all talking about, well, I'm not saying it's nonsense, but it's not really, really important to the story or something. It's just mishmash. It's just... How do you say? It's just how you talk to friends, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But if this happens now a couple of times in this book, which irritates me about, it's just because, well, Supergirl looks great. Don't get me wrong. Joins now the fold, right? So she's becoming a part of this Cry for Justice group. Also, we have this guy here. Deathbolt, I believe is his name. Also, he's a very aggressive murderer, right? So, who's this? Polka Dot Man? I'm not sure. I don't know. But, like I said, I imagine Hal dealing with these guys, but, yeah, no. The problem is, what I'm trying to say is there's too much talking, and the story is not really progressing, except that the fact that Prometheus is behind that, and that, our heroes are now hunting villains and dealing with them, but... There's little story progression except that people feeling bad and there needs to be justice, which is good, right? It's the name of the book, Cry for Justice. But I wish that there was a little bit more to it, right? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.